Today's subject is why my husband come back home. He does not want to move with a finger. All he have to do is just sit on the sofa and watch TV or just read newspaper. Does not help, wife at all. Now, after this, video, many women may complaining, "Oh, you are bad." But I try to represent, for a man's behavior. As I mentioned that, when men come home, then I'm tired, don't bother me, and they just sit on the sofa and just read newspaper, things like that. This is true reality. Now, we have to understand this one is based upon, Yin and Yang. Now, here is Yin and here is Yang. Now, woman belong to Yin and men belong to Yang. Now, not only this one, in our body, there is organs belong to Yin, belong to Yang. Now, let me write down this one. Here is the liver and the heart, and we call spleen, and lung, and kidney. And another organ belong to Yang, we call the fu, and the liver is a gallbladder, and the heart is a small intestine, and this is the stomach, and the lung is large intestine, and this is urinary bladder. Now, when you look at this one, there's an interesting thing. This organ in here has to work every single moment. If the lung does not function, 3 minutes later, we passed away. Our heart does not pumping after 3 minutes, then it may be, after 30 minutes we may recover, but our brain, somewhere is damaged and stroke, then we have to suffer, for a lifetime. Now, so this part has to move continuously all the time. But on this part, they don't have to work on continuously. Let's start, from the stomach. Okay, we eat and the food come to our stomach. Now, the stomach, working 4 to 6 hours. When you get the food, they're working hard. And all the food, all the hard food, converted to like a kanji. So now, as soon as our stomach try to send all the food to small intestine, then in the meantime, the gallbladder in gallbladder, in duodenum, add a bile. Once gallbladder add bile, gallbladder doesn't move, it just stay there. Once whatever come, then they work hard, then they stop working. This is young organs, young organs in our personality. Now, so in small intestine, I absorbed all the nutrition. Then small intestine sent to large intestine. The large intestine try to absorb all those water and damp. Then they just excrete outside. That's it. Then large intestine, they don't work. They just stay there, just like that. Urinary bladder is same thing. From the small intestine, from the large intestine, all the water come. It's not clean, then come to here, then once go to urine, then they just stay there until full urinary bladder doesn't work either. This is a personality difference between yin organ and the yang organ. Now, this is different. We have to understand there is a difference there. Now, yin organ cannot ask yang organ, you gotta work hard continuously. Then they should not. Now, why woman ask man, you gotta work continuously. When you go to job, you work continuously. When you come to work, you have to work continuously. Now, when stomach work continuously, then what's going to happen is we have heartburn there, we have the acid reflux, we have a pain, we have a bloating, because stomach working continuously without stopping. Now, there is a difference between them. Which is right or wrong? No. There is a difference. We have to understand these differences, okay? Now, once, a bile, bile is supposed to come out. Unfortunately, it's blocked. Then, the gallbladder work, very hard, to send out, bile. Then, what happened? My face will, become yellow. If large intestine working continuously, you got the constipation. So, young organ work hard when they have to, but there's nothing there. They have tendency take a rest for next job. So, when men come home from the job, then men want to sit down and want to take a rest. It is personality difference. We have to understand these differences. If the man work and help wife so much, it may be good for the wife, but sooner or later, men become tired. They drop dead earlier too. We have to admit this function. So, the problem now these days, used to be woman's job and the man's job is separated. Usually men go to work outside, and get to farming, things like that, and the woman do, a job in the house. However, now these days, man and woman, men go to work, woman go to work. Now, the society is changing. How to make adjust this one? That's a question. However, if someone working outside, someone working inside, then woman, I hope, understand this kind of theory, and then let men take a rest. Thank you so much for your